Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tyler Fenn here at the REDX. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. We apologize for being a few minutes late. Technology was not on our side this afternoon, but we've got things up and running. So thanks for bearing with us and being patient. We've got James Shelby with us. James, thanks for being back with us on the show again.
It's always my pleasure. And quick shout out to Justin, who's no longer with you, but great guy, Justin Zimmerman. I just want to give him a shout out real quick. You're not a great guy. I know that you are.
Thank you. Thank you. Justin is and always will be a good part of the family here at REDX. We're excited for the new things that he's on to, and hopefully we'll have him back every once in a while. He's got a lot of ties here, so we'll keep you in the loop when that happens. Thanks to everybody who's on watching and who stayed with us while we got things set up on our end, whether you're on Facebook, on our YouTube channel, or on our website. Thank you. If you have questions for James, we're going to talk about lead follow-up again today. We're going to talk about how he does it. We're going to talk about what to do, what not to do, that sort of thing. So as you have questions, make sure to chat those in, and those will get relayed over to me. We'll ask James those questions. But James, let's talk about lead follow-up. There's a lot of different ways to do it. We're interested in seeing how you do it and some of the systems and things you have in place. But ultimately, it's about keeping in touch with people and not letting anybody slip through the cracks. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. A big part of our everyday routine is lead follow-up, because it's one thing. I mean, you've got a great product in REDX, so you're already ahead of the game because you're making phone calls. You're calling just listed, just sold. You're calling expireds. You're calling all these different types of leads. And you're making contacts. So you're getting someone that says, hey, you know what? I am going to relist my home. It did expire, but I'm not ready right now. You know, I'm not going to set an appointment today, but call me in a week or two or whatever the case may be. So now you have this lead, right? If you do not follow up, they are not going to call you back. So you already put in half the work, which is to call the expired listing and get someone on the phone that didn't hang up on you that says, yes, I do want to I want to sell my home. If you don't call back, you might as well just stayed in bed that day and not even made the initial phone call, because it was just a waste of time. You're calling these leads, you're getting a great lead, and then if you never follow up, you're not going to get the appointment, you're not going to get the listing, and you're not going to get the paycheck. So lead follow-up it is just as important as prospecting.
So you'd mentioned, hey, we get somebody on the phone, we have this conversation, and sometimes they've got a reason, I'm not going to sell, or I'll call you back, or follow up with me. Obviously follow up with me has a huge range of what that means for people. Some people go, yeah, I'm interested, call me back in a week. And some people go, I might not sell for another 12 months. When you're having those conversations, do you have different follow-up processes or silos or buckets for those different length of time follow-up? I mean, do you segregate those lists and keep them separate?
Yeah, I mean, yes. So first and foremost, if you're an agent that's trying to do a very, very high volume of listings, if someone says, I'm not going to sell for a year, I would still put them in a lead follow-up platform, and I'll get to kind of what you can do to do that. But you really want to focus on the people that are going to be listing in the next 14 to 30 days. So, if you hear a year, you're first of all, you want to try and find out what happens in a year. So why a year as opposed to the hottest selling market we've ever seen in real estate, which is today? You got to ask that question. So don't just take them at face value. So don't just say, oh, okay, in a year. All right, Mr. Smith, I'll call you in a year. Click. Say, hey, what is it that is so important for you, Mr. Smith, to wait for a year? We're experiencing the hottest market we've ever seen. We don't know what the market's going to look like in a year, especially after the election and all the turmoil and things that are going on and the craziness. We might all be dead from COVID in a year. Why do you want to wait a year? So first and foremost, you want to try to find out, if you can get them to sell sooner. If they're dead set on not selling for a year, everyone has has their own CRM or follow-up system, or maybe you don't have one. But I have chose to use probably the most ancient and archaic and old way of doing it. But I have a
Looks like we just lost him. Again, I mentioned earlier, technology's not been on our side this morning or this afternoon. It looks like that is the case again. Let's give it a couple of minutes, guys and gals. Let's see if James can connect with us here again. He was just getting to the good part. He was just about to tell us exactly what we needed to know. So let's see if we can get James back here with us. We'll give it just a minute. Be patient, please. That is quite all right. I'm excited. You got cut off right as you were about to tell us what you use, what your system is, and so totally left us hanging. So we're excited that you got back connected with us, and you were about to tell us what system you use. You'd mentioned it's archaic and old, but now that piqued my curiosity.
It's because it's so simple to use, you can't screw it up. So I have a 2-binder system, and maybe an agent on here has told you about this 2-binder system before, so if you've heard about it, forgive me. I didn't invent it, but I've got 2 folders. So it's a binder with the 3 rings. Very simple. So I've got one of those with 12 inserts, one for every month of the year. So you've got January through December, and then I have another folder, another 3-ring folder with 30
different, inserts to separate the days 1 through 31. So when I have a lead that says, look, for whatever reason, if I can't get them to sell now, I'm waiting for my kids to graduate. So they're graduating next July. I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, Mr. Smith, so you're not moving until next July. I'll follow up with you then. I'm going to take Mr. Smith's contact sheet, and let's say we're in December, he's not moving till July. I'm going to take his contact sheet and I'm going to put it in my month folder, and I'm going to put it in, let's say if he said July, I'm going to put it in January, February, March, April, May. I'm going to put it in May. So when I get to that May, every month I open that. When I get to a new month, I open that new month folder, and I have everyone that said they're moving in May. Whenever I got them, whether it was 6 months ago, 3 months ago, I pull those out, and then I take those May people. It's May 1st. I take all the people and I put them in the folder 1 through 31. I put them in the first day.
Okay.
So I know I got to call these people today and figure out what they're doing. So it's a very simple system that allows you exactly who you need to call, that you don't have to wait for a reminder on your phone or hope that your CM reminds you or whatever. It's so simple. If it's May 1st, you take all the May leads and you call them all. And let's say I call him, Mr. Smith, you said I talked to you in December. You said you were planning to move when your son graduates in July. It's May 1st. Is that still the plan? Yes, it is. Okay, perfect. So you want to still move in July? Yes. Okay, perfect. Well, I'm glad I stayed in touch with you. I'll follow up with you next month and we'll help you get started. I take them out of the May, I put them in the June, and so on. So that is my very simple follow-up system. It's not going to be expensive. There's no monthly fees. There's no depending on you to check your email to make sure you got the remind. It's very, very simple. So simple a caveman could do it, as they used to say.
So you said, look, if somebody's that far out, that's the system that you use. What about those people that you're focused on in the next 14 to 30 days? What are you doing differently with those, if anything, or are you using a similar, more detailed, or maybe more detailed process for those people that are 14 to 30 days?
So I've got so let's say we're in what month is it? I don't know what month. This is how crazy this year has been. I don't know what month it is.
It's summertime. That's all I know.
It's summertime. So we're in July, all right? Let's say I get a lead today. He says, hey, it's really tough because if they say call me in a week, whenever they tell me to call them, I'm cutting it in half.
Okay.
But the same rule applies. They're just shifted over to that 1 through 31 folder. So today,
Gotcha.
let's say today's the 25th or something, whatever it is. If they told me today on the 25th to call them on the 30th, I'm going to slide them over to the number 20, the 28 folder. So when I open the folder on July 28th, I got to call Mr. Smith because he told me to call him on the 30th. Because what you'll find is a lot of times people will tell you, I'm a month out. Most of the time, that means they're 2 weeks. So if you wait the full month and you make zero contact in that month, by the time you call them, it's probably too late. Someone's already probably talked to them or they met with someone. They forgot who you were. Now, if you have someone, and I know you're probably looking for something that's a little bit more, I have Follow Up Boss as a CRM as well. So you can put them in the Follow Up Boss and put them on a drip campaign and some sort of email, and that's fine. But I really highly recommend this easy two folder system. It's a lot better than the 2-party political system we got that's not working out that great. Right. I promise that this 2-folder system is going to work out great as long as you use it.
Now, if you're using this for your leads, is it the same system that you're using for, say, your sphere of influence and your database, or do you have something different for that?
So I have, for my sphere of influence and my database, I've been making a very concerted effort to, there's a new program. I don't know if it's new, but it's new to me, Homebot. I'm sure someone else has talked to you guys about it. I absolutely love Homebot. What Homebot does is I'm making a concerted effort for all the people that I know, whether it's friends, past clients, anyone that owns property, real estate. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get their name, their email, and their property address, and I'm sticking them as a homeowner in Homebot, because what Homebot does, this is perfect for past clients. Let's say you have a buyer, you sell them a home, now they own a home. You want to put them in Homebot, because what Homebot will do, it's going to send them a very detailed market analysis that is, it looks like it's coming from you. You know, it's got your picture, it's got your all your contact information, but then it's also got this very detailed analysis of what their property's worth, how much equity they have, what the current interest rate is versus what the rate that they have. It's insane the amount of data that this company pulls, and puts into an algorithm and spits them out this update every once in a while. So this, I've only been using this for a few months, and it's been a game changer, because I've had already clients reaching out saying, hey, I love that you sent me that market analysis. We were just talking about moving out of state or doing this. And I've already taken one listing from this, and I've only been using it about a month. But here's what I've been doing with those that circle prospect, because I know a lot of people that have REDX are calling the areas around where they're just sold, just listed. And you're getting that homeowner that says, oh, you know what? I'm not thinking of selling right now, but what did that one sell for? Well, it sold for X, Y, and Z. Oh, that's cool. It's, are you thinking about making a move? Not really. Maybe in a year or two. Oh, well, great. I have this great system that I pay for that I would love to provide to you for free. That's going to give you an updated, detailed market analysis for your property every couple months. It's not going to spam you, but it'll send you a detailed, updated market analysis. What's the best email to send that over to, Mrs. Johnson? Oh, that's cool. Send it to xyz@yahoo.com. Great. Now you have that lives in your area that's going to be receiving an updated, in-depth, branded market analysis from you, the realtor, every other month. And if they ever do decide to sell, it's not a guarantee they're going to call you, but they're going to be, you're one click away from them calling you and saying, hey, getting your market.
For 12 months.
And I love that. I love this idea of just staying top of mind, right? And that's something we've talked about a lot as we've talked about lead follow-up on the podcast, is how to remain top of mind. And I love the let me email you every 2 or 3 months approach for people that you don't have a relationship with, which we've seen, which I've seen a lot as I've done interviews on this podcast, is
Yes.
You don't have a relationship with this person. And so you're not reaching out for birthdays and anniversaries and the birth of a child and that sort of thing, right? It's the only relationship that we have is that I called you, I'm a real estate professional, and you're a homeowner. And so the relationship needs to continue based on that relationship that you have. And so I love the market analysis. I love, hey, here's what's going on. Here's what interest rates are. And it sounds like this just makes it super simple for you to do that and maintain those relationships. Now, with those people, are you doing anything else once after 6 months? Do you follow up with those people, or do you put them into this system and then kind of a set it and forget it type?
It's mainly set it and forget it, and I haven't had it for long enough to really say, oh, I do this or that. But I will tell you another thing that this program does, which is just amazing. It will, well, a lot of programs do this, but it'll tell you who's opened it the most, how many times they looked at their value.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see some people that have went back and looked at the value of their home in the last week 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Maybe call and reach out and say, hey, it's James Shelby. I spoke with you 3 months ago. I've been sending you some updates. I'm just wondering, have you received them? Do you have any questions? You know, it's just another way to reach out to someone that's been going back and visiting it a lot. If they're just receiving it and you see they open it and they open it once every time you send it, you're probably not going to reach out. Just keep them in there. Let them stay on the database. And again, I'm not only putting people that say they want to move. I'll put anyone in there.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that owns a home is a potential seller at some point. It costs me nothing to have them getting a free market analysis every, you know, if I could have 40,000 people in there that lived in my area,
yeah,
it'd
absolutely.
be amazing. So when you're circle prospecting, make better use of those contacts that you get that say, oh, I'm not really thinking about selling. Because a lot of times that's just, okay, well, do you know anyone that is? No. Okay, cool. Well, I'll put, you know, thanks for your time. I'll, you know, and maybe you try to put them in a database or something. If you know they own the home, you know they live in the area, and you can get their email, stick them in there. Stick as many people in there as possible. That I do, and this, you know, you can look at lead follow-up or staying in contact or branding, almost like fighting. Like there's many combos as you can hit people with as far as staying in touch with them, the better. I am huge about Facebook and Instagram. So when I've been out door knocking or even on the phone, I tell people, I will say, you know, hey, you know, if I'm having a good conversation and hey, no, I'm not looking to sell. Okay, cool. Hey, are you on Instagram at all? Oh yeah, I have Instagram. Cool. Follow me on Instagram. I'd love to connect with you because I give a lot of good information about things that are happening in the community or whatever. I've been out door knocking, my card, all my stuff, my cards, my flyers, whatever type of material I'm giving people, always, it's very, very clear. Let's connect on Instagram. I make it very clear. I put my Instagram handle, I put a little Instagram logo, because that's just another way to drive people to follow and keep in touch and be top of mind without them feeling like they're getting spammed, you know, or you know, even with the market analysis, you're going to have people that unsubscribe unless they unfollow you. They're going to keep seeing your stuff, keep seeing that you sold another home, keep seeing that you're connecting with another local business person. You know, these are all things that agents should be doing. They should be out in the local area. They should be connecting with local business owners. They should be helping the guy that just, you know, his restaurant just got closed down, but now he's doing outdoor seating because that's all he can do. You should be telling people in your community about that. And it's a perfect way for you to not only help the restaurant owner, but also be looked at as almost like the digital mayor of your town. You know everyone and everything that's going on in the area.
I love that. And for just a minute, I want to talk about that. How else do you leverage Instagram or social media in general? Because that is becoming one way that people communicate pretty heavily anymore. And so what else, what other things are you putting on there that would help you stay top of mind so that when they see you, they're going, okay, this is not just James's personal Instagram. This is James, the realtor. And here, so what are some of the other things that you're putting on there that would be relevant for people that they want to continue to see?
You know, it's tough to say exactly, because what one person might want to see, another person might not give a crap about. So to put it all in one basket can be tough. But I will say this.
Okay.
I see a lot of agents make the mistake of their page, their Instagram, for instance, or even their Facebook is 97.8% business. It's all about, oh, this interest rate, or, oh, this home, or, oh, 2 tips to say, increase your value. It's cool. It's fine. But your average person, unless they're going to be buying or selling a home in the next month, doesn't give a crap about that stuff. So you really got to approach it with more, in my opinion, of like a 60-40%, 60% your family, your hobbies, your life, your local community, the restaurants you like, the vacations you take. These are no one watches the Kardashians to learn how they made their skincare brand a $1 billion industry. Kim Kardashian isn't giving you tips on how to build your own skincare line. She has her own skincare line. It makes her billions of dollars, but the funny things or the nice homes that they're in, that's why people tune in and watch. So you as an agent, you need to give people a reason to watch. If you're a good agent and a good top producing agent, you're probably making some pretty good money. You don't have to throw dollar bills at the screen, but if you're going on a nice vacation, share that. People like to see drone shots of Hawaii, or you and your wife enjoying a nice meal. I mean, give people something other than just beating them over the head with, hey, call me when you want to buy and sell a house. Sprinkle that in here and there when you have a cool listing, or you just help someone sell a property and they got 20 grand over list price. Sprinkle that in and remind people what you do, but don't beat people over the head with it. I hope that helps, because I see agents go 100% in on those people.
Gotcha. And I think that's fantastic advice. And you're right. I mean, to explain it the way, the Kardashians, right? Nobody's tuning in for that reason. They want to see the drama. They want to see the hilarity and that sort of thing. And you're right. I think that as I'm thinking about how I would do an Instagram to try to build business from that, you're right. I think they do want to connect with you on a personal level, and then have, like you said, sprinkle in the right stuff that will keep them top of mind as a contact. And it sounds to me from this conversation, like the social media is a big part of your lead follow-up, right? In kind of an indirect way, you're going, look, I'm trying to connect with every single person, and I'm utilizing that in order to make sure that when the time comes for you for them to list and sell, you're there. Is that a fair assessment?
Absolutely. And, again, it has to be, I always use the analogy of a bicycle wheel and all the different spokes. It can't just be one thing, in my opinion. Now, some people do great at just doing one thing, and that's fine. But you have to, like I said, when I'm out door knocking, we haven't been doing that as much with the coronavirus and all that, but we'll get back to it. And that is a part of what we do. So we list a home, we go out and we knock the whole neighborhood. So that's one way they see you in person. Now I'm saying, hey, connect with me on Instagram. Oh, okay, cool. Now they're seeing me on Instagram. If I can get them from my Instagram to my Facebook, okay, now they're seeing me at their door. They're seeing me on Instagram. They're seeing me on Facebook. Okay, and now I'm calling them on the phone, because not only are we door knocking the neighborhood, we're calling the neighborhood. Oh, hey, you were the guy at my house. Oh, yeah. Hey, Mr. So-and-so. Yeah, hey, this is what we do. I'm just calling. I know I spoke with you on the phone, or I know I spoke with you at the door. Anything changed between then and then? No. Okay, cool. Well, hey, I saw we connected on Instagram. I'll catch you then. Okay, cool. So now you're touching all these different aspects of these people's life and connecting with them. And yes, it takes time. This isn't something where you post a couple posts and 20 people call you to list their home. But if you do all of these things on top of your prospecting, you'll never do less than 50 deals a year. I promise you. And
So-
that's a minimum. That's baseline.
Well, and 50 homes a year is a pretty phenomenal number in most markets, right? Is to be able to do that. But let me ask this question.
It really is.
Is if there is a new agent sitting across from you and they said, what's the first thing that I should start on, right? The first thing, I mean, would it be, hey, let's create this 2-folder system and let's focus on that? Or is it, let's devote some time and energy toward the social media side? Where would somebody new start? Because it sounds like you've got different avenues. Some people can't get them all at once. What's the number one? Where should they start? Well, guys and gals, I think we may have to call it a day, given that we're not able to connect with James here again. For anybody who jumped on late, we had technical difficulties getting connected at the beginning and in the middle, and it seems like here at the end, it seems like we're not going to be able to get connected with him again. Thank you, and I apologize for the technical difficulties. The good thing that this is a fairly rare occurrence, but we are scheduled again Monday, Wednesday, Friday of next week. Please make sure to tune in. If you're not getting the updates and you're not subscribed to those updates, make sure to go to our website, theredx.com. Click on the podcast link in the upper corner of our website, and you'll be able to subscribe to the updates so that you can see who's going to be on the show, view past episodes that we've done, and get any other information that may have been shared by our guests on our show. Thank you so much for being with us. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see everybody back here on Monday at 1:30.